Welcome to our exploration of how Wall Street profited from southern cotton plantations in the early 1800s. We'll take a closer look at the symbiotic relationship between Wall Street and the Cotton Kingdom and how this partnership fueled economic growth while perpetuating slavery. Our story begins in the early 19th century when cotton was king in the American South. Cotton blew up in the first half of the 1800s. It went from under £1 million being exported from the United States around 1800 to more than £2 billion by 1860. Cotton was the primary cash crop, and it created immense wealth, but it also relied heavily on the institution of slavery. Cotton production was labor-intensive, and southern plantations needed vast amounts of capital to purchase land, slaves, and equipment. This need for capital led to a unique relationship with Wall Street. Wall Street, located in New York City, was already a bustling financial hub by the early 1800s. It offered the financing that Southern planters required to expand their operations. In his book, New York and Slavery, Time to Teach the Truth, historian Alan J. Singer explains, "The founders of Brown Brothers, Harriman, built the bank by lending millions of dollars to Southern planters and arranging for the shipment and sale of slave-grown cotton in New England and Great Britain during the 1800s. Brown Brothers Harriman is a Wall Street firm that has been in business for 200 years. Wall Street also played a significant role in the cotton markets. Cotton was traded as a commodity, and Wall Street facilitated this trade through the cotton futures market, allowing planters to hedge their bets. But the profits from this system were built on the backs of enslaved people. The wealth generated from cotton, facilitated by Wall Street, perpetuated the institution of slavery. The cotton industry had a profound impact on the American economy. The vast profits generated by cotton plantations helped fuel the early stages of the Industrial Revolution in the North. The Cotton Triangle was formed between the South, Wall Street, and northern textile mills. Raw cotton was grown in the South, shipped to the North for processing, and the finished products were often sold back to the South. Several financial institutions that exist today have historical connections to the cotton trade and profited from cotton plantations in the early 1800s, including their involvement in financing, cotton futures trading, and other related activities. During the 18th and 19th centuries, some New York banks offered loans to southern plantations that were secured by enslaved individuals as collateral. These loans, often referred to as slave-backed loans, were used by plantation owners to purchase land, slaves, and equipment for agricultural production, including cotton. Some of the New York banks known to have been involved in these practices include J.P. Morgan and Company, now J.P. Morgan Chase. J.P. Morgan and Company, a prominent banking institution, had historical ties to providing financing to Southern planters, sometimes secured by the collateral of enslaved individuals. The bank's predecessor firms, such as Junius S. Morgan and Company, were involved in this practice. Brown Brothers Harriman and Company. Brown Brothers Harriman, a well-known financial institution, had historical connections to offering loans to Southern plantation owners, including loans secured by enslaved individuals. Bank of the Manhattan Company. This bank, which later merged to form Chase Manhattan Bank, now part of J.P. Morgan Chase, was involved in financing Southern plantations, including providing loans secured by enslaved individuals. Merchants Bank of New York. The Merchants Bank was involved in providing loans to Southern plantation owners, and in some cases, these loans were collateralized by enslaved individuals. During the early 1800s, it was not uncommon for slave owners to take out insurance policies to protect themselves against the financial loss incurred if their enslaved individuals were injured, killed, or became unfit for labor. Some insurance companies which may have been involved in providing coverage for slave owners include Aetna, founded in 1819, is one of the oldest insurance companies in the United States. While Aetna has a long history, it has faced controversy and legal action for its historical involvement in providing insurance coverage to slave owners for potential losses related to their enslaved individuals. New York Life Insurance Company established in 1845, New York Life, like Aetna, has historical ties to the insurance of slaves. It has also faced scrutiny and legal challenges regarding its involvement in insuring the lives of enslaved people. During the era of Southern slavery in the United States, several New York-based companies were involved in activities that indirectly profited from the institution of slavery. Some of the notable New York-based companies that had historical connections to profiting from Southern slavery include Lehman Brothers, the well-known financial services firm, which began as a dry goods store in Alabama in the 1840s, was involved in cotton trading, brokering, slave sales, and providing financing to plantation owners. Tiffany and Company, this renowned jewelry and luxury goods retailer, founded in 1837, sold products made from Southern-grown materials, including cotton. Tompkins and Clark, a prominent shipping and trading company that profited from the cotton trade and played a role in facilitating the transportation of cotton. Phelps, Dodge and Company, known for its later involvement in the mining industry. This company had connections to the cotton trade and provided financing to cotton planters. Brooks Brothers, the iconic clothing retailer, founded in 1818, sold clothing made from cotton, including products produced by enslaved labor. New York City profited from Southern cotton plantations in several ways during the 18th and 19th centuries, as it played a significant role in the cotton trade and the broader Southern economy. By some estimates, New York received 40% of U.S. cotton revenue through money its financial firms, shipping businesses, and insurance companies earned. New York benefited much from slavery and the slave trade. Southern cotton sailed to Europe from its harbor. These profits were closely tied to the institution of slavery, the cotton industry, and the financial, commercial, and industrial activities that supported it. Here are some key ways in which New York City profited from Southern cotton plantations. Cotton financing and trade. New York City served as a major financial center, and its banks provided loans and capital to Southern planters to purchase land, slaves, and equipment for cotton production. They also financed cotton shipments, allowing plantation owners to expand their operations. The city was a hub for cotton brokers and factors who facilitated the cotton trade, connecting Southern growers with northern and international markets. Cotton exchanges. New York City was home to cotton exchanges and trading firms that played a crucial role in the cotton market. Cotton futures and options were traded, enabling cotton growers and buyers to hedge against price fluctuations. This activity attracted a substantial amount of capital and trade to the city. Shipping and transportation. New York City was a major port for the shipping of cotton to domestic and international markets. The city's ports were crucial for the export of Southern cotton and the import of manufactured goods. Shipping companies, such as those owned by New York-based entrepreneurs, transported cotton, and the associated transportation fees contributed to the city's prosperity. Insurance companies in New York, including some still in operation today, provided coverage to protect cotton shipments from various risks, including damage, theft, and loss due to natural disasters. These insurance policies were essential for both Southern cotton planters and those involved in the cotton trade. Manufacturing and textiles. New York City's textile mills and manufacturing industries process cotton into various goods, including textiles and clothing. The city's manufacturing sector benefited from the availability of Southern cotton as a raw material. Banks and financial services. New York City-based banks and financial institutions, like Brown Brothers, Harriman and J.P. Morgan, played critical roles in the cotton trade, providing financial services to both cotton planters and those involved in the cotton industry. Economic growth and employment. The cotton trade and related financial activities contributed to New York City's economic growth, creating jobs and opportunities for its residents. It's important to recognize that while New York City profited significantly from the cotton trade, these profits were intertwined with the institution of slavery and the exploitation of enslaved labor in the South. The prosperity of New York City was, to a large extent, built on the economic relationships forged during this period. As a result, the history of how the city profited from Southern cotton plantations is an integral part of the broader narrative of the United States' complex history of slavery, commerce, and finance.